All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we could take advantage of in the Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. As always, we start our day by taking massive, massive action, making sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome. We want to make sure that we are centering ourselves, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading. Let's trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. And let's always imagine our trades successfully materializing. And we want to be sure to obey our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And we are never, ever looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced. So happy Friday, everybody. Big day today in regards to data. Very important day. It's what the markets have been waiting on. As we are now, right? It's the 6th day of September. And if we look at the Forex Factory report, we have today, we have non-farm payroll, right? For the United States. Average hourly earners, unemployment rate. We also have a FOMC member speaking today. We've got two FOMC members speaking today on the same day as the non-farm. We also have Canadian employment data as well. So we see a lot of red folders, right? So if we look over to trading economics. Good morning, Benita. Good morning, Yasina. Blessings to you as well. If we look over and we take a look at trading economics, we see here that U.S. Job growth is seen as accelerating. So the U.S. economy is projected, right? So this is just a projection to add 160,000 jobs in August 2024, more than the 114,000 in July, and the unemployment rate is expected to edge lower to 4.2%, 4.3%, which is the highest since October 2021. Also, wages likely rose 0.3% month over month, slightly more than a 0.2% in July, pushing the yearly gain slightly up to 3.7%. 3.6%, which was the lowest since May 2021, while August figures are likely to indicate a stabilization in the labor market in August. A continued slowdown is expected. The average monthly payroll growth for this year has been 203,000 compared to 251,000 in 2023 and 377,000 in 2022, right? So on these Fridays, we don't really try to guess the markets, right? We want to let this play out because investors are going to tear into this report, looking at every single detail. Again, this is just a projection. We'll see what happens. If we look at the Forex Factory, non-farm forecast 164, right? So this was calling for 160K. So we'll see. You'll see with this data, but the markets are going to really be on pause, right, until this data is released. And then on top of that, like I said, we've got two FOMC members speaking today. So we'll see what they have to say, trying to figure out what the topic of discussion is going to be with these two, because it's not always directly related to what we might think it might be related to in regards to interest rates and things like that. So we'll see what happens. A lot of times it depends on the forum in which they're speaking. And so also what happened yesterday is we had the ADP non-farm employment change come through. The projection was 144K, right? So contraction in the area came in at 99,000, right, for private sector. So we know just from history, especially those of you who've been in this group for a while, the private sector jobs data doesn't always fall in line with the non-farm payroll data that follows. Uh, so sometimes it's the exact opposite. So in regards to growth, so we will see what happens with that. But that number missed forecast. On unemployment claims came in pretty much flat. But the ISM uh, services PMI, right? So this was important because above 50 indicates industry expansion, below indicates contraction, right? So it's the leading indicator. It's a leading indicator of economic health. Businesses react quickly to market conditions, and their purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. Okay. So it's a survey of about 300 purchasing managers, which asked respondents to rate the relative level of business conditions, including employment, production, new orders, prices, supply deliveries, and inventories, right? So let's check out and look at a breakdown of what happened with this report. Good morning. Those of you who just joined us, want to make sure you have trouble. It's okay. I think we're all set. So breakdown of this report for ISM, right? 10 industries reported growth, including arts, entertainment, and recreation, transportation and warehousing, and healthcare and social assistance, right? The prices index rose to 57.3, up from 57% in July, indicating that inflationary pressures remain strong. This increase marks the 87th consecutive month of rising prices driven by higher material costs in industries like retail, trade, utilities, and transportation and warehousing. The new orders index shows positive momentum at 53%, up slightly from 52.4. The fact that new orders continue to grow suggests that demand remains stable, particularly in industries like entertainment and warehousing, but the pace of growth is slowing. And some industries, such as construction, are reporting decreases. While the employment index remains in expansionary territory at 50.2%, it declined from July's 51.1. This indicates that while jobs are still being added, the pace of hiring is slowing, which could be a sign of labor market caution or a response to economic uncertainty. Okay. 7 industries reported contraction, such as agriculture, forestry, fishing, hunting, and accommodation and food services. The backlog of orders index fell significantly to 43.7%, down by 6.9 percentage points from July. The decline suggests that companies are not seeing enough incoming orders to maintain or grow their backlog, which could signal slowing demand in the near future. The new export orders index plunged to 50.9%, down from 58.5% in July, indicating weaker demand for U.S. services abroad. This drop is concerning as it reflects potential slowdown in international markets, right? So these reports are very, very important, especially when you read into the details. And so it's important to investors, to know traders, to know and understand these reports, right? Because when you look at key economic indicators and you're trying to figure out, right, whether or not we're going to continue expanding or we're going to see a slowdown, right? This kind of gives you an inside look at what's going on, right, on the ground. Okay, so some mixed data, right? But is starting to lean towards, hey, things are slowing down, right? So some positive signs in some areas, some sectors, right? Not so positive signs in others. But overall, right, it's looking like you say here, the pace of growth is slowing. So there's still some growth there, but it is slowing, right? So we want to continue to see if this is an ongoing trend. That's why it's okay. Makes sense to everybody? Yes, no? Drop me a 1 in the chat if it makes sense to you.
It.
All right. Okay. So we don't want to, I wanted to give a detailed breakdown of that because we don't just want to glance over those reports. We want to gain an understanding of them. All right. Okay. So moving back over to trading economics, right? We see that the German trade surplus is below estimates, right? So again, some things that's, hey, look, things are slightly slowing down, right? Starting to slow down. Okay. So exports, right? So less demand, just like how we saw here on that ISM report, right? A slowdown, right? In demand and exports. Okay. So continue to watch, right? We're all connected. We're all connected, right? It is global, right? These markets are global. So we'll see what happens. But let's move over to the DXY and take a look at it as we were looking at uh, the swing high forming yesterday. It did close out, right? That second candle lower. And so we are, right? The DXY is in the sell zone. So we'll see today how investors, how traders, right, interpret the data to see, right, if we continue to move lower with the dollar, or uh, if we make a U-turn, right, and create a higher low, right? We won't know until that data is released. Here we are on the 4, right? We had an 80-20 move. We ran into that high, right, of resistance that was formed, which we just pointed out on the daily, and now we pull back. Okay, and now we're at a pause. So let's see what happens with the data. All right. Any questions on the DXY? No. All right. Moving on to I want to take a look right at the S&P just ahead of the report. Look at some of the price action from yesterday. So S&P on the 4 hour, right? So we've had that recovery and now we've corrected right here at this key level of support. Do we continue to move down, right? We'll see. We can see we accelerated here. We didn't get any type of pullback. Now we've got this major correction on the 4. I'm going to move this up to the daily. So there's a cleaner picture of what's going on, right? So with this key level of support, if we break it, right, we look to most likely move lower on the S&P, right? But we can see we've got the clean high that's formed right back at this level, and we are moving bearish, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay. Keep everything on pause until the dust settles from the data that comes out. Big day today. Any questions on the S&P?
No.
All right. Pretty clear what's going on there right now. Looking at the US 30. Okay, same thing, right? We got the Fed running on this, but the same thing, right? Do we continue to see further declines? Okay. This was a fairly large move, right? We're getting a really good correction right here. Right. So let's see how that data is interpreted. Do we continue to move down for a potential crown? Here in this area, we shall see. Yeah. All right, but the September correction continues. Right, it continues. So we are selling off right now. Right, on the US 30. Oh yeah, yep. Crown pattern. You saw it too. Yep, for sure. So let's see where it settles. Let's see where we settle. That's the US 30. Taking a look at the NASDAQ on the 4. All right, continuing to turn over. If you guys, anybody was trading that 80-20 target, it's coming in right at that target. If you're short and you took this position, I would move out. Right? I would close out. Right? That's a pretty good gain to the downside. That's just me. Right? I've learned over the years, right? I'm gonna go ahead and seal the deal. At least move your stop positioning down, right? Maybe you move it down above this high. It's giving you a good area to move. Maybe you come down above this high here, so that way you've locked in some profit, right? Or lower if you want. But we've got major data. So if you're up in a trade, up in a position, you got in that direction, right? Uh, Try not to give it back. All right. So that's where we are on the NASDAQ. Coming in, right? Taking a look, right? Further declines, right? So again, it's 1 hour 80-20 play, right? On the Nikkei, right? Moving down. Okay. That's pretty much at a 382 target. I didn't play this one, but that one's moving down. Okay. So lots of opportunity sell side, right? If you're positioned and you're waiting on a low price for a buy, right? Just continue to be patient, especially on a day like today. Right? UK 100, right? Down, right? To edge of that buy zone. Okay. All right. I know it's US data, but it will move, right? All markets. All markets will react to this data. Here we go. Again, same type of price action that we saw, on the S&P, that we saw in the US 30, right? The rest of them, here's that pullback. Okay. I wonder if this was a sub fib. No, that one just turned over. I thought it might have been a 80-20 play, but it was. So this is moving down, right? So where are we gonna find that next low if you're looking to buy? Okay, if you're looking to buy. Okay. Look at that German 40, right? Clean this up a bit. Moving down. Okay. You can see why we like um those wide stops, okay, on those 80-20 plays, you know, because it gives it room, right? As long as it doesn't hit that D extension and we get that U-turn, stalls out in the area, we get that U-turn, you get to move back to the downside. Okay. Be patient, right? We know we're in that buy zone, but man, ahead of data, not limiting in, taking a risk on that, considering the market conditions. Okay. All right. And we've got take a look at this SMH play, right? Again, 80-20 swing. It's a pattern driven market, everybody. Right? How many times have we seen this so far this morning? Okay, so right back stall. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting. Okay, that's where we are. Any questions on any of the? I know that's the ETF, but any of the indices? No.
Nope.
All righty. All righty. Moving over. Take a look at our commodities. Take a look at gold ahead of the report. Again, we're trying to target 2600 area eventually, right? Trying to get there. But you can see we're at 25 to 17, right? So we still got some room to go, right? Moving back up to those highs, right? So we came off this bottom, past resistance equaling future support, and we're right here at this level, kind of range bound, right? We need a breakout. So definitely looking forward to see how gold moves as a result of the data. Do we see a further correction? Do we move right back down and retest the low area again? Or are we going to continue long? All right. Any questions on gold? Mm, all right. Taking a look at silver. as it climbed, right? Bang, we looked at that one. That was a good move, right? This was a good move. I didn't trade it, right? But we got to move to the upside, right? A bit of a double bottom action there. But we've come in, right? Pretty much hit that TP2, that 61.8 area. So we'll see if that continues to want to climb, right? That's against the US dollar. That'll be impacted today, right? By the news. Okay. So that was good. Anybody trade silver in the group? No. Okay. One to keep an eye on. Oh, so Tyrone, here we are. Right. Here we
Oh man, I don't want to even talk about this, man. Oh
Man,
goodness.
did you hold off of it? I didn't make the play. I didn't
No, as you came on to commodities, I looked over to natural gas and I couldn't hold it in. I've just seen it. So yeah, it's made its play again.
Yeah, I I marked it up. We marked it up to go along, but we I didn't make the play on it, man. And look at it going. Look at what look at that. Man, that's some holding long off the day. What? The Jeremy drop some sevens. What? All right, all right. But Jerry, great work. Great work off the daily. Right. The double I did not make the play, right? We had the bullish candlestick, right? That tells us then we double bottom. Look at that. And that is a cup and handle. That is gonna probably keep moving, right? What is this? This is 2.44, the next level. We'll see if we could get there. But that's a clean looking move, right? What is that? Joy said you took your eyes off of it. Yeah, I know. I know. I let that one go. Look at that. That's a beautiful cup and handle type of pattern moving up. Right. We got an extension right around that resistance level as well. My goodness. Jerry said he took it off the daily. Let's look at that. Let's see it from the daily. Oh yeah. Off the lows. And no man, it held up. What a beautiful move. Man. So that there, Jeremy, is a clean double bottom off that daily, right? Pretty much, right? Because we wicked out there. So, man, nice work, nice work. Did we take out the house? Not yet. Uh, so we've got a level coming in that I did not catch earlier. In this nat gas play. Hmm. I've got to check. Anybody know what's the fundamentals around this move right now?
Storage units.
What'd you say?
Storage units.
Storage units? What about the storage units?
Let me see if I can bring it up. They
Okay.
increased the storage units. This was last Friday
Uh-huh.
to some cubic meters or something. I just copied it. And look. Let me see if I can find it because I got it off for Trading Economics.
Oh, okay. All right. Man. Yeah, post that link in the chat for me if you can find it on Trading Economics again and post it in the group. That's a beautiful move off the lows. Great work. Great work. Oh, that's true. That's true, Jeremy.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna also say because what it was, they also it's seasonality because of
Hmm.
people utilizing energy. So because winter coming up, people about to start using heat. So and it was something else about the summertime, and I forgot what the summertime what they was banking on, what fell through that caused that drop right there. But they, I think they, I have to let me pull it up. I'm sorry.
Well played. Well played, Jeremy. On 299 due to the winter. Oh, this group is smart. This group is smart. Man, what an entry, Jeremy. What a play. That's looking strong. That's looking strong. So we look for backs and continuations on that. All right, man. What a move. What a move. What a move. What a move. Right. And then here's the GDX, right? Cool. ETF just bouncing around ahead of the data, right? In the sweet spot. See if we can make gains after the news. So let's see there. So that's where we are there. Want to move along and look at take a quick look at these Aussie dollar plays, then we'll these dollar crosses, and then we'll wrap it up. So looking at the daily, right? So we can see, right? We're trying to now we come back into this past level here, right? And you can see how we're just bouncing around a little bit. That stochastic is approaching the buy zone. But we are trying to get this to play out here, right? So we've gotten a good move. We've got a pullback. Is this going to be a higher low? And do we move? I mean, a lower high, and then we move lower as a result of the data, right? So if you're trading this move, be cautious, right? Because we've got that data coming up. 4 hour stochastic is in the sell zone. Okay, so we'll see what happens with this move today. But trade with caution. If you're up, sit there straight out of that 80-20 zone, right? Hey, try to maybe adjust your stop. Right? We know it'll give you volatile. Uh, take some of your position off. Right? I'm just always super conservative around these major reports that I know that the market has been heavily anticipating. So that's that on the Aussie dollar. That's where we are now, right? So it was moving bullish, right, due to the weak dollar, and then we hit that 80-20 zone and we have the correction. Any questions on that play? Nope.
Oh,
All right, all right. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. This is and I say it all the time, just based on what I've seen. This is definitely not operated as any type of safe haven. So this tends to be flowing with the market in general, right? Overall, right? So we got the S&P down, the major indices down, stocks down. This Bitcoin is down, right? And so we come back into right this level here that we have. What is this? 54,482. We'll see what happens with the news, but we haven't put in any type of a swing low on the daily. As a matter of fact, we put in a swing high recently. Right? You see there. Uh, so it has been steadily moving lower. Right? So this price action is moving down. Right? So just running horizontal support and resistance, looking at the levels. And so it looks like we're going to head to that next support level on Bitcoin. We will wait and see. All right. That's that. Not too much to say there. Moving down, right? Take a look at this Euro USD. Okay. So you can see what we look like from the daily, right? We made a nice move up, right? And you can see this morning, right? showing a slight decline, but again, beautiful 80-20 play, right? Won't know until after the data which direction this wants to continue, how the market interprets that data. Right. Came in, hit TP1, almost got to TP2 before the correction on that 1 hour 80-20. All right, so slight pullback this morning ahead of news. That's where we are. All right. On the Euro USD. Any questions on this pair?
Nope.
All right. Moving on down to the pound dollar. We were talking about this one yesterday. Right, as we're starting to put in, right? So we closed out higher and we put in this low, right? But again, just like the Euro USD, you're seeing a slight decline ahead of the data this morning. So we'll see, right, if this low is going to hold and continue long, right? Technically, all signs are pointing, but we know what happens, right? Technical plays and structures, right, never stand in the way of a strong fundamental occurrence, right? We say that all the time. So we have to wait and see, right? If we come down to the 4 hour, okay, we've got that 80-20 look, but what's going to happen, right? We pull back, right? So we overshot the zone, but we failed to hit that extension, right? So we're kind of in no man's land right now, right? We declined, we came back down, but the market's taking it back, right, on the upswing. So let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. Nothing more we could do, right, to try to interpret which way this is going to go. We see where we are technically, but again, we've got data. So that's the pound dollar. Moving down, taking a look at this NZD USD play. Okay. So again, okay, good move to the downside. This market is now, right, reversed. It's pushing long. We don't have that official swing low. We need the day to close out. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Here, kind of similar, right, to that pound dollar where we've come out of this 80-20 zone, right, and we pulled back, right? So this moves a little deeper. Didn't overshoot the zone, right? But you can see a similar type of price action with this pullback, right? All right. So let's see what happens, right? Got that crown action setting up. Let's see what happens with the data. Donette, you said EU. Mike.
I was just saying that it moved out of that zone.
What'd you say?
It moved out of the zone really well.
Oh yeah. Yep. On that euro dollar did. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. There's been a lot with the with these numbers, right? So we had a huge decline last time the data came out. Then they came out and said earlier in the year, right? They had misprojected, you know, payroll numbers by like it was early in the year, like what was it, like 800,000 jobs, a misprojection. So it's the reason why I'm super cautious is because it's hard to tell on the heels of that how the market is going to interpret this. Right, that comes out, so we'll see. Do we come out? What was it? We saw one projection for 160,000, another one for 164,000. Do we come in way over? Do we, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the market will figure itself out. Moving down to this dollar CAD play. So just continuing, right? We're forming this high, okay, here, and we're just declining, right? We're seeing a decline. Price broke down. Okay? Price broke down. So let's see. And I expect that to definitely be a swing high by the end of the day. Do we break below, what is this, 134.77? Do we move below it or do we find some? Okay, that's the question. That's what we're looking at right now with this latest move down. Right? Redrew this chart and focused on this leg to the downside, right? So we got an 80-20 swing that came in and hit that target, then we turned back over. So again, do we get below that daily level or do we hold? Do we find a low here and do we push higher? Right? Because we have to keep in mind that we have Canadian data coming out as well. All right. Any questions on this dollar CAD?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on. All right, finish out these dollar pairs. And dollar Swiss. Okay. Continue to move down. Look at this weekly level here. Okay. Turn back over. Right. That's low. That's major. So the question becomes, do we move lower, right? Or do we find a support for that right here, or do we continue to move down? Right. Most projections are looking for that dollar to move lower. Right. Further declines. Okay. But we'll see. See if we break that support. Should be an interesting close to the week. All right. So that's the dollar Swiss. Looking at the dollar yen. This is our daily look. Right? Look at our price. Right, turned over off that high, pushing lower. But if we come down here, right, here's the 4-hour. Okay, makes sense. Right, that we're moving lower. We've got a down fib running. Right, but if we come to the 1, just ahead of the data, you see that we're getting a small reaction out of this 80-20 zone on the 1. Okay, didn't play it. Right, major news, left it alone, but we'll see what happens. Okay, but that is a technical 80-20 on the 1 hour on the dollar. Okay, stochastics in the buy zone. Any questions regarding any of the dollar crosses that we covered?
Nope.
All right. So Ryan, good morning, sir.
Good morning, bro.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, doing pretty good. It's Friday. You know,
Yes,
that's
sir.
my favorite day of the week. Look to close
Yeah,
things
man.
out. hmm
Yep.
I had reached out early to Ryan this morning, y'all. Woke him up because I didn't sure this session was gonna happen, man. That power was going back and forth. We got hit with storms again. It has been, I want to say it has been the we've gotten the most rain since I've lived in Michigan this summer.
It's
So
been crazy, dude.
yep. Yep. I've barely had to use my sprinklers all year. So
I turned them on one time.
yeah, it's been a lot of right, and my grass didn't burn or anything. So it has been a crazy year as far as rain. Uh, I am on the east side. hmm I am on the east side. Yep. And we got hit this morning pretty good. So I don't know if it's coming your way or not, Joy. But yeah, man. But anything on your radar, Ryan?
Nah, man. Just waiting on this data, bro.
I think that's it for everybody. Everybody's waiting on that. So yep. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what we covered this morning. Covered some data from the US ISM services report. Went over that in really good detail. But we're with you, man. Everybody's waiting on that report. Let's look over to the let's take a look at your risk gauges ahead of the data. And pretty mixed, right? Monthly risk on, of course, because we got that that's still coming off the heels of that. We were at the beginning of September, coming off the heels of what happened in August with that rally. But you can see we're mixed. We're mixed ahead of the report. As far as the positioning, right? Just taking another look at that COT data, right, and we can see right where that JPY has been updated, right? It's not sitting as high as it was before, right? Gold still, right? So we're looking for that 2600 target um on gold. And yeah, so that's where we stand. That CAD, right? Still at the bottom, still the most bearish. So that's important ahead of the data today for Canada as well. So we'll see if that shifts anything next week uh, regarding the Canadian dollar in regards to the COT report. But this is what we're looking like across the board. Okay, where people are placing that money, right? So we will see any questions over anything that we covered today, everybody. And leave it there because we got this data coming up. No?
No.
All right. All right. Ryan, anything before we close out?
No, sir.
All right. Joyce said she didn't. Joyce said, your driveway is wet. Yeah, you got hit with it too. So anyway, everybody.
Yeah, sorry, Benny. Sorry to cut you
Yes.
guys.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
a question.
Yes.
Right. So on the COT website,
hmm
and I'll talk about timing. I got you just at the last minute. So
It's okay. It's okay.
I swear. So the trading still website. You've got two sections. It says COT futures and COT legacy futures. Um, what's the difference?
You know what? I used to know that. Let me follow with you on that in the chat because I've gotta go back and look at that again. It's been a while since I've been on trading. But
No worries.
I used to know that. I used to know that. I used to know that the difference on that with the like something is I'm not gonna try to guess at it right now. because I used to,
Okay.
because we actually back in the day, what was that, right? Probably like 2 years ago, Ryan, we actually did a training on the CLT report, and we use trading stir. So I should know this. But that's a great question. The legacy report. I think one is more forget what it does. Anyway, so I'll follow with you in the chat on that one. The difference between that
Sure.
legacy report. Yep. And
That's
but that's a great question. That's a great question because I know you could definitely use that trading stir. That is a great site. That's so much better than going to the main government site. That government site is like a dinosaur, but compared to
yeah.
the trading store. So I'll follow up with you on that, man. That's a really good question. That's got me
All
going
right
now.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Anything else? Anybody? It's a really good question. Nope. All right, all right. Well, hey, everybody, enjoy your Friday. Appreciate you all being here with us this morning. Again, major data coming up. You got non-farm, you got Canadian employment data, and then you also have two FOMC members speaking today, right? So go figure. Crazy Friday as we end the week. We'll be here tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, for the Forex Weekly Ritual. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. And always remember, don't just count your pips, but indeed count those blessings. Bye for now.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.